Imagine a colossal spiral of light and shadow, its glowing arms reaching across the void, its heart pulsing with raw cosmic power. That's the Whirlpool Galaxy, and hidden within its mesmerizing beauty lies the story of creation, destruction, and rebirth on a scale beyond imagination. This isn't just a galaxy, it's a mirror of our destiny. Scientists believe that what's happening inside M51 right now could one day happen to the Milky Way itself. Galaxies colliding, stars being born. A new cosmic masterpiece taking shape in the darkness of space. In this video, we'll dive deep into the mysterious core of the Whirlpool Galaxy, where time bends, light twists, and the universe reveals its most powerful secrets. So before we begin this journey across 23 million light years, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and join us as we explore the wonders of the cosmos, one mystery at a time. Far beyond the stars that paint our night skies, beyond the quiet twinkle that our eyes can see, there lies a masterpiece of the cosmos, an immense spiral of light, motion, and mystery. 23 million light years away from Earth, in the quiet constellation of Cain's Ventusii, there spins one of the most breathtaking structures ever captured by human eyes. Astronomers call it M51, but to the world it is known by a more poetic name, the Whirlpool Galaxy. At first glance it seems almost unreal. Its spiral arms twist with such symmetry and grace that it feels like an artist's hand sculpted it in the dark canvas of the universe. This galaxy doesn't just exist, it performs. Each arm stretches outward, glowing with the light of billions of stars, young, old, and ancient. Dust lanes swirl like cosmic brushstrokes, and at the center, a radiant core burns like a celestial heart. For centuries, we've looked upon it in awe, wondering what secrets lie within its perfect form. The Whirlpool Galaxy is not just beautiful, it is alive. Every swirl, every glow, every shimmer in its arms tells a story that began billions of years ago, a story written in starlight and shadow. Imagine, if you can, a colossal system 60-0 light, years across, spinning in the void with such balance that it seems frozen in time, yet it's moving constantly, eternally. Every star you see within it is part of a grand cosmic dance, an orchestra of gravity and light, playing a silent song that stretches across the cosmos. When astronomers first turned their telescopes toward M51, they were struck by its extraordinary shape. Most galaxies are irregular, some are elliptical, but this one was different. This one was structured, organized, and harmonious. Its spiral arms were not random. They were deliberate, flowing outward from the core like ripples in a pond. The more powerful our telescopes became, the more astonishing its structure appeared. Through Hubble's lens, we could see it in dazzling clarity, its arms glowing in blues and purples, with delicate veins of dust snaking through its structure like arteries through living flesh. Each of those glowing arms is not just made of stars but of stellar nurseries, vast clouds of hydrogen gas where new suns are born. Within those clouds, gravity works its eternal magic, pulling matter together until nuclear fire ignites and a new star begins to shine. In that single act, the Whirlpool Galaxy reveals its secret. It is a place of creation, a cosmic womb where stars live, die, and are reborn. Every point of light in those arms is a sun, and around many of those suns planets may orbit, some perhaps like ours, some completely different. Somewhere within that swirl of light, life could be looking back at us, wondering what lies beyond their skies. And yet, beauty alone does not define the Whirlpool Galaxy. It is the story behind that beauty, the cosmic forces shaping it, that makes it so profoundly mesmerizing. You see, galaxies like M51 don't simply exist in isolation. They are born from chaos, formed from the collisions of gas, gravity, and time. Long ago, immense clouds of hydrogen floated freely in space, drawn together by the invisible hand of gravity. Slowly, over millions of years, those clouds condensed, spinning faster and faster until the first stars flickered to life. What began as a formless cloud became structure, a rotating disk that grew into the grand spiral we now see. The Whirlpool Galaxy was sculpted by time itself. If you could travel to it, if you could stand on a planet orbiting one of its stars, you would look up and see a sky unlike anything imaginable. Its spiral arms would stretch across the heavens, vast ribbons of starlight glowing softly in the darkness. Nebulas would drift like silent storms, illuminated by newborn suns. The night would shimmer with motion, and the universe itself would feel alive. To witness the Whirlpool Galaxy from within would be to understand the scale of creation, to realize how small, yet how deeply connected, we are to everything that exists. But even as we admire its beauty, we must remember, this galaxy is a machine of physics. Every swirl, every beam of light, every dance of stars is governed by the laws of gravity, motion, and time. At its heart lies a massive gravitational center that holds everything together, commanding the stars to orbit in perfect unison. The spiral pattern that looks so delicate is in fact the product of immense forces. The outer stars move at tremendous speeds, hundreds of kilometers per second, yet they never fly away, held in balance by the mass of the galaxy itself. It is cosmic perfection, chaos made orderly, darkness made luminous. Astronomers have long been fascinated by what makes the Whirlpool Galaxy so visually perfect. When compared to our own Milky Way, which is veiled in dust and complex in structure, M51 appears cleaner, more defined, like a portrait of what a spiral galaxy should be. This clarity allows scientists to study how spiral arms form and how they influence the birth of stars. Each arm acts like a wave of compression, squeezing clouds of gas as it rotates, sparking the creation of new stars along its path. In essence, the arms of the Whirlpool Galaxy are engines of creation, rolling waves of gravity giving birth to light. But M51's splendor goes beyond the physical. It touches something deeply emotional in us. Perhaps it's the symmetry, the sense of order amid cosmic chaos. Or maybe it's the quiet reminder that even across the vast emptiness of space, there is pattern, there is structure, there is meaning. The same forces that hold those stars in place are the ones that hold atoms together, the ones that shape planets, the ones that gave rise to us. In its swirling arms, we see not just another galaxy, we see the reflection of our own beginnings. It's humbling to realize that the light we see from the Whirlpool Galaxy tonight began its journey long before human civilization even existed. When that light first left M51, Earth was a very different place. No cities, no telescopes, no eyes to see it. And yet, millions of years later, that same light traveled across the void, untouched, to finally reach our eyes. In that single moment, as it hits our telescopes, we are witnessing history. The galaxy not as it is today, but as it was millions of years ago. We are, quite literally, looking back in time. Every image we capture of the whirlpool is a memory of the universe, frozen in light, and what a memory it is. The photographs of M51 captured by Hubble are among the most iconic in astronomy. They reveal details once thought impossible to see: individual clusters of stars, dark filaments of dust, glowing regions where new suns are born. When those images were first released, they inspired awe around the world. People who had never thought about galaxies suddenly felt something stir in them, a sense of wonder, of connection. The Whirlpool Galaxy reminded humanity that beauty exists on scales far beyond our own world, and that the universe in its vastness is not empty. It is alive with creation. There's also something deeply symbolic about the whirlpool's form. Its spiral shape mirrors patterns found throughout nature, from the curve of seashells to the whirl of hurricanes, even to the structure of DNA. It's as if the universe itself is built upon spirals, a cosmic blueprint repeating from the smallest to the largest scales. The same mathematical patterns that govern the growth of a sunflower's seeds are found in the formation of galaxies. In the Whirlpool Galaxy, we see that cosmic symmetry magnified across light years. It's not just a galaxy, it's a symbol of the universe's elegance, and yet, for all its beauty and clarity, the Whirlpool Galaxy still guards its secrets. Beneath its serene surface lies turbulent streams of gas twisting under gravity's pull, ancient stars dying in violent supernova, and young stars igniting in brilliance. If we could watch it in real time, sped up over millions of years, it would look alive, arms shifting, stars flaring, dust clouds drifting like smoke across a cosmic sea. It is a place where creation and destruction are inseparable, a reminder that beauty in the universe often comes from balance between chaos and order. What's perhaps most captivating about the whirlpool is that it's not alone. It has a companion, a smaller galaxy that orbits it, connected by a faint bridge of light and gravity. This cosmic neighbor, known as NGC 5195, interacts with the whirlpool in a slow, graceful dance. Their gravitational pull distorts each other, shaping their spiral arms, compressing gas, and fueling the birth of new stars. This relationship gives M51 its famous whirlpool shape, as if two galaxies are forever locked in a slow, spiraling embrace. It's a dance of cosmic proportions, a love story written in gravity and time. The whirlpool's arms in their perfect symmetry are not static. They are waves of density, patterns that move through the galaxy like ripples in water. As stars and gas pass through these waves, they're squeezed together, and new stars are born. This means the arms themselves are not made of the same stars all the time. They are regions of constant renewal. It's a living, breathing system. Old stars drift out, new ones ignite, and the cycle of creation continues endlessly. The Whirlpool Galaxy is, in many ways, a portrait of immortality, forever changing, yet forever beautiful. As technology advances, we continue to uncover more about this galactic wonder. Observations in different wavelengths, infrared, ultraviolet, and X-ray, reveal layers of hidden information. Infrared light shows us the warm dust where stars are forming. Ultraviolet captures the bright, young stars blazing in their infancy. X-rays reveal violent activity, exploding stars and energy from the galaxy's central black hole. When combined, these images create a multi-dimensional portrait of M51, a galaxy alive with motion, energy, and transformation. But beyond the science, there's something poetic about the Whirlpool Galaxy's presence in our skies. It reminds us of our place in the vast cosmic tapestry. Every time we look up, we are looking at something that has existed for billions of years, something that has seen countless suns rise and fall. The Whirlpool Galaxy is a reminder that the universe is not static. It is in motion, evolving, creating, destroying, renewing. It's a grand cycle that mirrors life itself. Perhaps that is why the Whirlpool Galaxy captivates so many hearts. It's not just a collection of stars, it's a message from the cosmos, a whisper that says, you are part of this too. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a star, and every element you know was born in galaxies like M51. The same forces that shape its spiral arms shaped the world you live on. You and the Whirlpool Galaxy are made of the same cosmic dust. That realization changes how we see everything. It turns the night sky from a distant spectacle into a mirror of our own origin. When we call it a masterpiece, we don't exaggerate. It is a masterpiece, a painting made not by human hands, but by the forces of physics and time. A work of art that spans tens of thousands of light years, painted in light and shadow, in creation and destruction. To explore the Whirlpool Galaxy is to explore the very language of the universe, the mathematics of motion, the poetry of starlight, the story of existence itself. And though it lies far beyond our reach, its light touches us. It reaches across millions of years to fall upon our world, to ignite curiosity in our minds, to remind us that we are explorers by nature. The Whirlpool Galaxy stands as a beacon of that curiosity, a symbol of everything we have yet to learn and everything we already are, because in that swirling storm of light, in that perfect spiral suspended in the void, we see something familiar. We see beauty, we see creation, we see ourselves. At the heart of the Whirlpool Galaxy lies a mystery that defies imagination. It is not calm, it is not serene. Beneath that perfect spiral of light, under layers of glowing dust and stars, exists a place where the laws of physics bend and reality itself trembles. It is the core of M51, a region of unimaginable gravity, energy, and chaos. For decades, astronomers believed the center of galaxies were simply clusters of densely packed stars, massive but ordinary. But the more we looked, the more we realized that what dwells inside the heart of the Whirlpool Galaxy is anything but ordinary. It is something ancient, powerful, and hungry, a supermassive black hole millions of times more massive than our Sun. This black hole is not silent, it does not sleep, it devours. Around it, a swirling disk of gas, dust, and shattered remnants of stars forms an accretion ring, glowing brighter than entire galaxies. As matter falls inward, it spins faster and faster, heated by friction and gravity until it reaches millions of degrees. At that temperature, the gas emits energy across the electromagnetic spectrum, X-rays, gamma rays, ultraviolet light, all pouring out of the darkness. What should be invisible instead becomes one of the brightest beacons in the universe. The Whirlpool Galaxy's beautiful, glowing core is a paradox. Light born from darkness, creation born from destruction. If we could stand near the core of M51, the view would defy words. We would see torrents of matter spiraling inward, light curving around invisible edges, space itself stretching and warping. Every second, entire worlds could vanish beyond the event horizon, erased from existence, leaving behind only echoes of radiation. This space around the black hole would shimmer with energy, bending the paths of photons like water around a whirlpool. Perhaps that is why it earned its name, the Whirlpool Galaxy, because at its center lies the ultimate cosmic whirlpool, a gravitational maelstrom that swallows everything that dares to drift too close. For years, scientists have studied this galactic nucleus, trying to understand how something so destructive could also be the source of such beauty. When the Hubble Space Telescope and the Chandra X-ray Observatory peered into M51's heart, they revealed a core alive with motion. Jets of charged particles shoot out from near the black hole at nearly the speed of light. Clouds of ionized gas glow in response, creating an eerie halo that surrounds the galaxy's center. These jets are not random. They are the black hole's way of releasing the energy it cannot consume. Matter that spirals too close is torn apart, but some of it escapes along magnetic field lines ejected into space in narrow beams that can stretch for thousands of light years. This is not quiet consumption. It is violent, radiant, unstoppable. What's most extraordinary is that this black hole doesn't simply destroy. In its ferocity, it shapes everything around it. The radiation and energy it releases push away surrounding gas, sculpting the galaxy's structure, influencing how and where stars are born. In a strange, poetic way, the same force that devours life also gives birth to it. The Whirlpool Galaxy's luminous spiral arms owe part of their brightness to this activity. The energy from the center ripples outward, stirring gas clouds and triggering new waves of star formation. It's a cosmic cycle of death feeding life, destruction giving rise to creation. The more we study the core of the Whirlpool Galaxy, the more we understand that black holes are not just endings, they are architects. They sit at the centers of nearly every galaxy we know, not as destroyers, but as regulators of cosmic evolution. Without them, galaxies might never form in the same way. The black hole in M51 is a heartbeat, a gravitational center that holds the galaxy together, commanding the motion of billions of stars. Without its pull, the entire spiral would unravel into the void. But even as we learn more, the questions grow deeper. What lies beyond the event horizon? What happens to matter once it crosses that invisible line where not even light can escape? Einstein's equations describe the collapse of matter into a point of infinite density, a singularity where space and time themselves cease to exist. But can something truly be infinite? Does the universe allow such extremes? The whirlpool's core might hold those answers, hidden behind a veil we can never see through. Every photon that approaches is trapped, every signal swallowed, leaving us with only the faint traces of radiation from the edge of oblivion. And yet those traces tell stories. In X-ray wavelengths, M51's core flares with unpredictable bursts of energy. Sometimes it brightens suddenly, then fades again, as if the black hole has taken another meal, a star, a fragment of a planet, a dense cloud of gas drawn too close. Each flare is a cosmic heartbeat, a reminder of the immense power concentrated within that small region. To imagine it, think of this. The black hole's event horizon may be only a few light hours across, but it can contain the mass of millions of suns. If it were placed where our sun is, its gravity would consume the entire solar system in an instant. And yet, all that mass, so much weight, so much gravity, is confined to a space smaller than the orbit of Mercury. That is the scale of the core we are talking about. But perhaps the strangest thing is how something that cannot emit light becomes one of the brightest objects in the universe. The energy around black holes doesn't come from the hole itself, but from the matter spiraling toward it. As that matter accelerates and heats up, it releases enormous radiation before finally vanishing. The Whirlpool Galaxy's core shines because it is a battlefield of forces, the ultimate balance of gravity pulling in and radiation pushing out. It is both violent and elegant, both terrifying and breathtaking. Astronomers believe that the black hole at M51's center is several million times the mass of our Sun, comparable to the one that sits at the heart of our own Milky Way, Sagittarius A*. But unlike ours, which is relatively quiet, the Whirlpool's black hole is active, feeding, growing, and radiating. This difference may hold clues to the life cycles of galaxies. Perhaps our galaxy, too, was once as fierce as M51, blazing with energy in its youth, and over time it has quieted, matured, and slowed. If that is true, then by studying the Whirlpool's core, we are glimpsing our own galactic past. One of the most haunting observations made by scientists is how perfectly balanced the chaos at M51's core is. The immense gravitational pull of the black hole is offset by the outward pressure of radiation, creating a delicate equilibrium. Too much energy released and the surrounding gas is blown away, starving the black hole. Too little and it feeds faster, growing uncontrollably. Somehow, nature finds balance. It is a reminder that even in the most extreme environments, the universe knows harmony. The Whirlpool's heart is both storm and stillness, a paradox that defines the cosmos. But how did this black hole come to be? Did it form at the same time as the galaxy, or did it grow later, feeding on the stars and gas around it? Many scientists believe that supermassive black holes begin small, seeds formed from the collapse of the first stars in the early universe. Over billions of years, they grow, merging with others, feeding on gas clouds and devouring entire stars. The Whirlpool's black hole may have been growing for more than 10 billion years, slowly becoming the titan we see today. It is not a creature of sudden violence. It is the patient architect of time. When we observe the galaxy's core, we are not just seeing the present, we are looking into history. The light that reaches us began its journey 23 million years ago. Back then, Earth was a different world. Mammals roamed ancient forests, and the first great apes were beginning to evolve. Every photon from the Whirlpool's core carries with it a story from that distant past. It traveled across millions of light years of space untouched to reach our telescopes to reveal to us the secrets of creation and destruction happening in another corner of the cosmos. In the end, the black hole at the Whirlpool Galaxy's center is more than an object of science, it is a symbol. It represents everything that is mysterious and profound about existence. We often think of black holes as voids, as places where things end. But when we look at M51, we see that from that very void comes light, order, and life. It challenges our perception of death itself. What if, in the universe, nothing truly ends? What if every collapse, every fall into darkness, becomes the seed of new creation? The whirlpool's core seems to whisper this truth, that endings are only beginnings we do not yet understand. And perhaps that is why humans are drawn to it, because in its darkness we see our own questions reflected. We too are made of matter that once fell into stars, was torn apart and reassembled. The same physics that governs the fall of gas into that black hole governs the motion of our blood, the beating of our hearts, the birth of our own sun. We are connected to it in ways we cannot see but can somehow feel. When we look at the Whirlpool Galaxy, when we stare into that glowing heart, we are looking into the fundamental rhythm of the universe. There's also something hauntingly poetic about how the Whirlpool Galaxy's core mirrors the very name we gave it. The matter swirling into that black hole behaves like water in a drain, spiraling faster as it nears the center, falling into an unseen abyss. The galaxy is a mirror of motion, a vast celestial whirlpool in which light itself is pulled toward darkness. Yet even as it falls, even as it vanishes, it shines. That is the paradox of the universe. Even the most destructive forces can create beauty that transcends time. Some scientists even speculate that the energy patterns at the core may be signs of something we have yet to understand, fields and forces beyond our current physics. The strange asymmetries in its magnetic lines, the way radiation flares unpredictably, suggest complexities we can't yet explain. Maybe within that chaos lie the first clues to new dimensions of reality, or the missing links in our understanding of gravity and quantum mechanics. The whirlpool's heart might be not just a place of destruction, but the key to unlocking the next era of human knowledge. And so we keep watching, we keep listening, our telescopes, our satellites, our instruments, all aimed at that glowing heart, searching for meaning in the noise, because in that flicker of X-rays, in that spiral of dust and light, is the story of the universe itself. The story of how light is born from darkness, how order arises from chaos, and how life somehow finds a way to emerge in the aftermath of destruction. If you think about it long enough, the black hole at the center of the Whirlpool Galaxy becomes more than a scientific phenomenon. It becomes a mirror of the human spirit. Like that core, we are surrounded by chaos, pulled in every direction by forces we cannot control. Yet within that chaos we find purpose, we create, we shine, we transform the darkness around us into light. The whirlpool's core reminds us that even in the face of infinite gravity there is balance. Even in the presence of darkness there can be beauty, and even in the places where light dies, the universe continues to create. So when you look at the image of the Whirlpool Galaxy glowing against the backdrop of space, remember this. At its very center, where no light escapes, a black hole spins, shaping everything around it. It is not an end, it is not death. It is the pulse of the universe itself, the dark engine that powers creation. And perhaps in some way we can't yet comprehend, it is the heart of existence. The place where the cosmos remembers that even darkness has purpose, and that from every fall into the void, something new is born. In the infinite theater of the cosmos, every galaxy performs a role in a grand ballet that spans billions of years. Some drift quietly, spinning in solitude through the black sea of space. Others collide in violence, tearing each other apart, only to be reborn in new forms. But few celestial relationships are as hauntingly beautiful, as elegantly destructive, as the one between the Whirlpool Galaxy and its smaller companion, NGC 5195. Together, they are locked in a cosmic embrace that has lasted for millions of years, a gravitational dance that shapes their destinies, distorts their beauty, and reveals the power of attraction written across the stars. If you could see them from afar, you would witness something mesmerizing. The great spiral of the Whirlpool Galaxy, glowing in its perfect symmetry, and beside it, a smaller, ghostly companion. NGC 5195, drawn close, its shape warped and stretched by invisible forces. Between them, a bridge of stars and gas glows faintly, like a luminous thread of gravity connecting two souls. This is not a static scene, it is an ongoing event, a slow-motion waltz played out over millions of years. Gravity, the universe's most patient artist, is sculpting the future of both galaxies with every subtle tug and pull. When astronomers first studied this pair, they realized that what they were seeing was not just beauty, but an interaction of unimaginable scale. The Whirlpool Galaxy is massive tens of billions of stars, countless gas clouds, and an immense gravitational field that dominates the space around it. NGC 5195, though smaller, is dense and compact. As it drifts near the whirlpool's outer arms, their gravities intertwine, and the effects ripple across both galaxies like waves across a still pond. This cosmic dance has consequences. The whirlpool's elegant arms are not just decorative, they are the direct result of this gravitational interaction. The smaller galaxy's approach disturbs M51's disk, pulling on its stars and gas, amplifying the spiral pattern, and creating the stunning whirl of light we see today. Every curve of the whirlpool's arms is shaped by that encounter. The stars move in ordered motion, but the gas clouds, those delicate threads of hydrogen industrious, bond dramatically. They compress, they twist, they collide. In those regions of compression, something incredible happens. Gravity ignites creation. New stars burst to life in brilliant clusters, painting the galaxy with blue-white light. These newborn stars shine intensely, burning their fuel rapidly before exploding in supernova that seed the galaxy with heavier elements. It is a cycle of destruction and rebirth triggered by a simple encounter between two galaxies drifting through space. But this dance is not fleeting. It has been unfolding for hundreds of millions of years. NGC 5195 has likely passed through the Whirlpool Galaxy before, moving along a looping orbit that brings it in and out of M51's gravitational field like a pendulum swinging through eternity. Each encounter stirs up waves of energy, sending ripples of star formation cascading through the spiral arms. These waves move outward, forming glowing arcs that we can see even from our distant vantage point on Earth. The very shape that makes the whirlpool so iconic, the perfect spiral, the luminous symmetry, is the fingerprint of this relationship. It is the visible memory of every collision, every pass, every gravitational whisper exchanged between these two galaxies. To understand the scale of this interaction is to confront the enormity of cosmic time. Imagine NGC 5195 moving through space, drawn inexorably toward M51 by gravity's pull. The distance between them may span tens of thousands of light years, yet gravity, that ancient force, feels no fatigue. It reaches across the void, binding them together in a relationship older than the human species itself. Every million years, their positions shift imperceptibly. The smaller galaxy tugs a little harder, the larger one responds. Tides of energy ripple outward, invisible yet powerful. Over eons, the galaxies evolve together, their fates intertwined until one day, millions of years from now, they will merge into a single, larger system. What we see now is only a moment in that long journey, a frozen frame in an eternal film written in starlight. Astronomers often describe this interaction as a dance, but perhaps that word does not fully capture its scale or complexity. It is more like a slow symphony of gravity and motion played on the grandest possible stage. Each galaxy is both dancer and instrument, responding to forces far beyond comprehension. And you see 5195's approach warps the whirlpool's outer disk, pulling out long tendrils of stars and dust. The whirlpool responds by pulling back, its own gravity distorting its partner's shape. Together, they create structures so vast that even light takes thousands of years to cross them. What appears static to us is, in reality, a continuous unfolding of movement and transformation. The space between them is not empty. That faint bridge of light connecting the two galaxies is made of torn gas clouds, stellar debris, and newly born stars. It is the aftermath of tidal forces so immense that entire star systems have been displaced. These stars now drift between galaxies unclaimed, orbiting in the void, a testament to the power of their gravitational embrace. In a sense, those stars are the children of the union between the whirlpool and its companion, born from the chaos of interaction, suspended between two worlds. And yet, despite the destruction, there is profound beauty in this process. Every disturbance creates new opportunity. Every wave of compression leads to birth. The collision between galaxies is not the end of order. It is the beginning of evolution. This is how galaxies grow, how they change, how the universe renews itself. When we observe the whirlpool and NGC 5195, we are witnessing creation on a galactic scale. It is as though the universe itself were alive, shaping and reshaping its own body through the rhythm of gravity. It is difficult for us, bound to human timescales, to grasp the patience of such processes. 1,000,000 years to us is eternity, but for galaxies it is the blink of an eye. The dance between M51 and NGC 5195 unfolds over hundreds of millions of years, each pass altering their shape slightly, each encounter adding new complexity. What we see today through our telescopes is the result of countless interactions that have already occurred, and a prelude to those that are yet to come. Someday they will merge completely, their stars mingling into a single vast system. The Whirlpool Galaxy as we know it will cease to exist, replaced by something new, larger, brighter, and transformed, and even that new galaxy will continue to evolve, perhaps to one day join with others, continuing the cycle forever. It's almost poetic how this cosmic relationship mirrors the cycles of life on smaller scales. Two beings meet, interact, exchange energy, and through that interaction, both are changed. Sometimes the encounter is violent, sometimes it is gentle. But nothing remains the same. The Whirlpool Galaxy and NGC 5195 remind us that change is not destruction, it is evolution. Through gravity's invisible hand, they teach us that beauty often emerges from turbulence, that creation often begins with collision. For astronomers, this interaction is also a laboratory, a chance to study how galaxies influence one another and how such encounters shape the universe. When we simulate the whirlpool's dynamics on supercomputers, we can see the tidal waves of energy spreading across its disk. We can trace how gas clouds compress and how stars are born in their wake. These simulations show us that the whirlpool's spiral arms are not static structures, but living, moving waves. The smaller galaxy acts like a conductor, orchestrating bursts of creation across its partner's vast body. It is a reminder that galaxies are not isolated islands in space. They are social, interactive, and deeply connected. The emotional resonance of this cosmic dance is undeniable. When we look at the whirlpool and its companion through telescopes, we are not just seeing two galaxies. We are witnessing a relationship in motion. We are seeing attraction, tension, resistance, and surrender. The smaller galaxy cannot escape. The larger cannot remain unchanged. Together, they write a love story measured in light, years, and millennia. It is a love story written not in words, but in gravity. where every pull is an act of longing and every distortion is a declaration of connection. If you could speed up time and watch their interaction unfold over millions of years, it would look like a slow motion embrace. The smaller galaxy would pass through the larger one, sending ripples outward like waves in water. The arms of the whirlpool would flare and stretch, glowing with the light of newborn stars. Then, as NGC 5195 drifted away, those waves would continue to move outward, slowly fading until the next encounter begins. This rhythm repeats over and over, shaping both galaxies into their present forms. It is not chaos, it is choreography, and perhaps the most haunting truth of all is that this dance is universal. Galaxies throughout the cosmos are engaged in the same slow, gravitational embrace. Our own Milky Way is destined to collide with the Andromeda Galaxy in about 4 billion years. When that happens, our skies will be filled with arcs of light as the two galaxies merge, their cores spiraling together just like the whirlpool and its companion today. The process will take hundreds of millions of years, but when it's over, a new, larger galaxy will emerge. The story of M51 is, in a sense, a preview of our own galactic future, a glimpse of what awaits us on the grand cosmic timeline. Even the bridge of stars connecting the whirlpool and NGC 5195 carries meaning. It is fragile, temporary, but it endures for millions of years, a testament to the persistence of connection, even across impossible distances. In its glow, we see a reflection of our own longing to connect, to reach out, to be part of something larger than ourselves. It reminds us that gravity, the same force that keeps us grounded on Earth, is also the force that binds galaxies together across billions of light years. It is the most universal bond there is, the thread that ties all of existence into one continuous web. So when you look at the Whirlpool Galaxy and its companion, remember that you are not just looking at two distant objects in space. You are witnessing a story of interaction, transformation, and connection that has been unfolding since long before humans existed. You are seeing the universe in motion, alive, creative, expressive. You are looking at a dance that defines the very nature of reality, and in that moment, if you let yourself feel it, you might realize something profound, that this dance is not separate from us. We are made of the same matter, moved by the same forces, bound by the same laws. The atoms in your body once belonged to stars that lived and died in galaxies like these. The gravity that shapes your world is the same gravity pulling NGC 5195 toward the whirlpool's luminous core. You are part of this cosmic choreography, a small but vital participant in the endless motion of creation. The Whirlpool Galaxy's relationship with its companion is not an accident. It is the natural expression of the universe's longing for connection. Every particle, every star, every galaxy moves towards something else, drawn by invisible threads of attraction. It is as if the universe itself yearns to unite, to merge, to become whole. The dance of M51 and NGC 5195 is a manifestation of that yearning, a visual poem written in light and gravity, telling us that separation is only temporary, that everything eventually finds its way back together. So as we gaze upon the Whirlpool Galaxy through our telescopes, let us not see only the mechanics of cosmic interaction. Let us see the deeper truth it reveals, the unity of all things, the eternal rhythm of creation and destruction, the beauty of connection that transcends time and space. For in the dance of these two galaxies, in their slow and graceful motion across the void, the universe whispers a message older than light itself. Everything moves toward everything else. Nothing exists in isolation. And even in the vast silence of space, there is a dance of love unfolding among the stars. There are moments in the life of a galaxy when beauty transcends imagination, when the silent dark becomes a stage for cosmic fire, when creation itself seems to burn with purpose. In the heart of the Whirlpool Galaxy, that moment is happening right now. Every gleaming spiral arm, every glittering cloud, every shimmer of dust and light is alive with energy. It is not a calm place, it is a place of birth, of chaos, of transformation. Here, the universe creates new suns, new worlds, and perhaps the raw materials for life itself. If you look deep into the whirlpool's arms, you will see countless regions glowing with a soft, pinkish light. Those hues are the fingerprints of hydrogen gas, vast clouds stretching for hundreds of light years, collapsing under their own gravity and igniting with newborn stars. Each glowing nebula is a stellar nursery, a cradle where nature forges suns from chaos. Within those clouds, density increases until pressure and temperature reach impossible levels. Then, in an instant that has no human comparison, fusion begins. Hydrogen atoms fuse into helium, releasing torrents of energy that light up the cosmos. The darkness yields to brilliance, and a star is born. Every single one of those stars represents victory over silence. It is matter, once cold and lifeless, transformed into light, and within that light is everything we have ever known: heat, radiation, and the elemental seeds of future life. These stars are not merely distant suns. They are the ancestors of all things that will ever come to be. Their creation is the same process that, billions of years later, allowed worlds like Earth to form. In watching the Whirlpool Galaxy's luminous arms, we are watching our own beginnings played out again and again on a cosmic scale. But the birth of a star is not gentle, it is violent, radiant, and fierce. When a massive star forms, it burns with unbelievable intensity. Its light floods the surrounding space, pushing away the gas and dust that once sheltered it. Stellar winds, streams of charged particles moving at thousands of kilometers per second, carve out vast bubbles in the interstellar medium. These bubbles collide and merge, triggering more waves of compression, which in turn give rise to more stars. Creation becomes contagious. The galaxy becomes a self-sustaining engine of birth and renewal, where one generation of stars ignites the next. The Whirlpool Galaxy is a masterpiece of this process. Its spiral arms are lined with thousands of these star-forming regions. From a distance, they appear like strings of jewels draped around a cosmic whirlpool. Each point of light is a sun, each cluster is a constellation in the making, and all of them are connected, synchronized by the galaxy's slow rotation, by the invisible rhythm of gravity and energy that moves through every corner of its form. When astronomers look at M51 through powerful telescopes, they see more than light. They see time itself unfolding. Some of those glowing stars have already died, their energy having traveled millions of years through space before reaching us. Others are just being born, hidden inside cocoons of dust. To look at the Whirlpool Galaxy is to look across epochs, to witness a process so vast and ancient that it transcends every measure of human experience. We see the light of stars that no longer exist, and the potential of stars that have not yet emerged. It is both past and future, fused into a single vision of eternal creation. Inside these arms, the light we see comes from energy measured in unimaginable quantities. A single newborn star can shine with a brightness thousands of times greater than our sun. Multiply that by billions, and you begin to sense the scale of energy radiating from this galaxy. Yet what is most fascinating is how that light interacts with everything around it. Radiation from young, massive stars excites the surrounding hydrogen, causing it to emit that distinct crimson glow that outlines the spiral arms. The light itself becomes a sculptor, shaping the gas and dust into pillars, arcs, and waves. Every beam illuminates the history of creation. Some of the most beautiful regions in the whirlpool are those where stars are dying, not just being born. The massive ones, 10, 20, even 100 times the mass of the sun, live short, furious lives. When their fuel runs out, they collapse inward under their own gravity and then explode outward in supernova of unimaginable power. For a brief moment, each of those dying stars can outshine the entire galaxy. The shock waves from those explosions race outward, compressing nearby gas and setting off yet another cycle of creation. Destruction becomes Genesis, death gives birth to light, It is a chain reaction of cosmic renewal where the end of one thing becomes the beginning of another. These supernovae also forge the heaviest elements in the universe: carbon, oxygen, iron, gold, the atoms that will one day form new planets, new atmospheres, and perhaps new life are created in those cataclysms. They are the sparks of future possibility, scattered across the galaxy like seeds in the wind. Every world that ever was, every breath ever taken, owes its existence to moments like these. When we study the Whirlpool Galaxy's luminous core and radiant arms, we are not just observing energy, we are witnessing the mechanism by which the universe breathes. And yet, amid this grandeur, there is harmony. Energy flows in patterns that obey elegant laws. Stars form where gravity and density align, where pressure and balance meet in perfect proportion. Light travels through dust and gas in paths determined by structure and motion. The result is a spiral so precise that it feels almost intentional, a geometry of light that mirrors the mathematics of beauty itself. The Whirlpool Galaxy, in its radiant energy, becomes not just a physical object, but a cosmic expression of symmetry and order. Even the black hole at its center plays a role in this symphony of creation. At first glance, it seems paradoxical, a region of total darkness at the heart of all this light. But black holes are not merely destroyers, they are engines of transformation. The one at M51's core consumes matter, heating it to millions of degrees as it spirals inward. The result is an outpouring of energy, jets of radiation, bursts of X-rays, flares that pierce the galaxy's heart like beacons. Around it, magnetic fields twist and spin, shaping the flow of gas. This immense gravitational furnace regulates the rhythm of the galaxy's evolution. It prevents uncontrolled collapse, redistributes matter, and feeds the cycle of renewal. Even in darkness, creation continues. There is something poetic in the idea that light and shadow coexist in the same space, that the galaxy's brightest regions are born from the presence of its deepest void. The Whirlpool Galaxy reminds us that creation does not require perfection. It thrives in balance, in tension between extremes. The energy that radiates from its stars, the gravity that holds them together, the darkness that frames their light, these are all expressions of the same universal force. Without gravity, there is no light. Without collapse, there is no birth. Without darkness, no illumination. When we translate the data of the Whirlpool Galaxy into color images, we see the fingerprints of this energy in exquisite detail. Blue regions mark hot, young stars, fresh from their stellar nurseries. Red regions trace the glowing hydrogen where those stars were born. Yellow and white cores mark older, cooler populations, ancient suns that have witnessed the galaxy's long story unfold. Together, these colors form a portrait of life on a galactic scale, youth, maturity, decay, and renewal all occurring simultaneously across tens of thousands of light years. The Whirlpool's light travels for 23 million years before it reaches us. That means every photon that touches our eyes tonight began its journey long before humanity existed. The energy we see now was released when our ancestors were still primitive mammals scurrying beneath the shadows of ancient forests, and yet here it is, unchanged, unwavering, bearing witness across time to the persistence of creation. That alone is staggering. Light in its endurance becomes a messenger of eternity. When we capture that light with our telescopes, we are doing more than collecting data. We are listening to the heartbeat of the cosmos. Every photon carries information about temperature, composition, motion, distance. It tells us how the galaxy breathes, how its stars live and die, how its core pulses with activity. Through light, the whirlpool speaks. And when we decode that message, we find a story that mirrors our own, a story of beginnings, struggles, cycles, and endless renewal. Energy in the Whirlpool Galaxy is not wasted, it circulates, transforms, evolves. Radiation from young stars energizes the interstellar medium, supernovae redistribute elements, black holes recycle matter into jets of radiation, Even cosmic dust, drifting silently between stars, reflects and scatters light, shaping the galaxy's glow. Every photon plays a part in the ongoing drama. It is a self-sustaining ecosystem of creation where nothing is truly lost, only changed. There's a humbling symmetry in realizing that the same physics governing those distant stars governs us as well. The nuclear reactions that power them are the same processes that power every heartbeat, every flicker of warmth in our own bodies. We are, in a very literal sense, embodiments of that energy. The light of M51 is not foreign to us. It is family. It is the same cosmic fire that ignited the atoms we carry in our blood and bones. To look at the whirlpool's radiant arms is to look at the mirror of our own origin. When you imagine standing on a planet orbiting one of those young stars in M51, the sky above would be breathtaking. Nebulae would paint the heavens in pink and blue, supernova remnants would shimmer in the distance, and the light of millions of suns would illuminate the night. That world would be bathed in energy, its surface alive with radiation and motion. It would be dangerous, chaotic, and magnificent, and yet within that chaos the chemistry of life could begin. The same radiation that threatens destruction also drives molecular evolution. Energy in the right balance is not the enemy of life, it is its spark. So the Whirlpool Galaxy, in all its blazing beauty, may not just be a spectacle. It may be a nursery for future civilizations. Somewhere in those bright arms, planets are forming. On some of them, atmospheres are taking shape. On others, the first organic molecules may already be assembling in dark oceans, waiting for the moment when life begins. The energy of creation that lights the galaxy also lights the path to consciousness. In this way, every glowing region we see is a potential birthplace not just of stars, but of stories, stories waiting to awaken. When we see M51 through the eyes of our telescopes, we are seeing the language of the universe made visible. The energy that radiates from it is not random, it is expressive. It tells us that the cosmos is alive with intention, governed by harmony even in its fiercest storms. The light that streams from its stars is the echo of creation's first word, spoken across billions of years, still ringing through space with undiminished power. And perhaps that is what draws us to it so powerfully, the recognition of something familiar. When we gaze into the whirlpool's luminous spiral, we feel a pull that is more than curiosity. It is a remembrance. Somewhere deep inside, we know that the same fire burns in us. The same creative force that ignites galaxies drives our own hunger to create, to understand, to illuminate. Energy in its purest form is both the universe's essence and our own. The Whirlpool Galaxy's mysterious core and radiant arms remind us that creation is not a single event, it is an ongoing act. The universe did not simply begin and then fade, it continues to generate light, motion, and life with every passing moment. In its relentless energy, the whirlpool declares a truth as old as time, that existence is a process of becoming. Nothing is static, nothing is finished, and everything, every star, every atom, every human soul is part of that eternal unfolding. So when you look up at the night sky and see that faint smudge of light from 23 million years away, know this: you are witnessing the energy of creation itself. You are seeing the same power that once shaped your world, the same fire that fuels your heart, the same light that will one day outlast you. The Whirlpool Galaxy is not just an object in space, it is a mirror held up to the soul of the universe, reminding us that everything born in darkness eventually learns to shine. At the heart of every great galaxy lies a secret, a force so powerful that even light cannot escape its grasp. The Whirlpool Galaxy is no exception. Deep within its radiant spiral, beyond the layers of glowing stars and swirling clouds, lies a darkness so dense it bends reality itself. It is a supermassive black hole, a gravitational giant millions of times heavier than our sun, hidden within the galaxy's core. And though it cannot be seen directly, its presence defines everything around it. It is the unseen conductor of a cosmic orchestra, shaping the whirlpool's rhythm, energy, and destiny through an invisible hand. For centuries, humans looked at galaxies and saw only light. We believed brightness was what mattered, that the glowing stars, the blazing nebulae, were the centerpieces of cosmic creation. But the truth, discovered only in the last century, is far more haunting. Light is not the whole story. Darkness has power. It sculpts, organizes, and gives meaning to everything else. Without the black hole at its center, the Whirlpool Galaxy would not look the way it does. Its spiral might not have formed with such elegance. Its energy might not flow with such balance. Its very existence might have unfolded differently. A black hole begins as a paradox, an object with infinite density but zero volume. Space collapses inward and time itself distorts. The boundaries of reality are drawn into a single point called a singularity. Around it lies the event horizon, the ultimate boundary, a place where the pull of gravity is so absolute that escape becomes impossible. And yet, in that utter darkness, something extraordinary happens. The black hole does not merely consume, it shapes, it regulates the galaxy's heartbeat, it becomes its invisible soul. Astronomers studying the whirlpool's core discovered jets of energy bursting from the region surrounding the black hole. Though light cannot escape from within, matter that spirals near it releases massive amounts of energy as it accelerates. Gas and dust swirl into a glowing disk called an accretion disk, heating to millions of degrees before vanishing into the abyss. This process emits radiation so intense that it can outshine the combined light of millions of stars. The whirlpool's central region pulses with that energy, bright, turbulent, and alive. What we see as the galaxy's luminous nucleus is, in truth, a cosmic storm born from the black hole's hunger. This central black hole acts like the beating heart of the whirlpool. It draws matter inward, but also drives it outward in powerful jets that extend for thousands of light years. These outflows shape the surrounding interstellar medium, clearing some regions of gas while compressing others. In doing so, it indirectly controls where stars can form. Too much gas and star formation runs wild, too little and the galaxy fades into stillness. The black hole regulates this balance, maintaining the galaxy's long-term stability. In its relentless consumption, there is purpose and equilibrium that allows beauty to endure. What fascinates scientists most is the mysterious connection between a galaxy's black hole and its overall size. Across the universe, galaxies appear to obey a pattern. The mass of their central black hole is proportional to the total mass of the galaxy's bulge. This means that even though black holes are small compared to the vastness of galaxies, their influence scales perfectly. It is as if the galaxy and its black hole evolve together in silent agreement. When one grows, the other follows. When one stabilizes, so does its companion. They are partners in creation and destruction, two halves of a single cosmic organism. In the Whirlpool Galaxy, this partnership is especially visible. The swirling spiral arms, rich in star formation, are a response not only to gravitational interactions with its companion galaxy, but also to the deep gravitational well of its core. The black hole's mass anchors the galaxy's rotation, influencing the motion of stars tens of thousands of light years away. Even at that distance, its pull shapes the orbits of suns and the flow of interstellar gas. It keeps the entire system coherent, like the pivot point around which the galaxy spins. Without that anchor, the whirlpool would slowly lose its symmetry, unraveling into chaos over billions of years. It's easy to think of black holes as monstrous cosmic devourers that consume everything near them, and indeed their appetite is insatiable. But in truth they are far more than destroyers. They are sculptors, shapers, regulators. They keep galaxies alive by maintaining balance between chaos and order. The whirlpool's black hole is not a silent killer. It is a stabilizer, ensuring that the energy of the galaxy remains in harmony. Too much creation and the galaxy overheats with uncontrolled starbirth. Too much quiescence and it goes dark. The black hole orchestrates this balance with perfect precision, like a conductor guiding a cosmic symphony. Imagine standing near it, though near, in this context, might still mean thousands of light years away. You would see the space around it twisted and luminous, matter spiraling inward in glowing arcs, moving faster than anything you could comprehend. Around the event horizon, time would slow almost to a stop. Space would bend until it defied reason. Radiation from the accretion disk would flood the void, bathing everything in a deadly brilliance. Yet, beyond that chaos, the rest of the galaxy would move in serene motion, held steady by the very force that seems so destructive. It is one of the great paradoxes of the universe, the idea that death gives structure to life, that a void can be the foundation of beauty. Scientists have studied the whirlpool's core in multiple wavelengths: visible light, X-rays, infrared, and every spectrum tells a different part of the story. In X-rays, the central region blazes like a beacon, revealing the hot gas near the event horizon. In infrared, we see the cooler dust swirling around it, feeding the accretion disk. In visible light, we see the surrounding stars orbiting silently, their paths curved by an unseen force. Together, these images reveal the anatomy of a living galaxy, one whose soul burns not with light, but with gravity. The energy released by this black hole does more than illuminate the galaxy's center. It influences its long-term fate. When the black hole's feeding frenzy intensifies, radiation floods outward, driving away gas that would otherwise form new stars. This process, known as feedback, prevents the galaxy from growing uncontrollably. When the black hole calms, the gas returns and star formation resumes. The cycle repeats over cosmic timescales, ensuring that the galaxy never collapses under its own weight nor burns itself out too quickly. The whirlpool's existence, its very longevity, depends on this rhythmic breathing: expansion and contraction, activity and rest, creation and stillness, all orchestrated by the black hole's gravitational will. To understand the whirlpool's black hole is to understand how galaxies live and die. It represents both the beginning and the end, the womb and the tomb of stars. From its gravitational embrace comes order, into its depths returns the matter that has completed its journey. Over billions of years, gas, stars, and dust will eventually fall inward, merging into the core. The galaxy will age, its spiral arms fading, its brilliance dimming. But even as it declines, the black hole will continue to grow, feeding on what remains, until one day it becomes all that is left, a monument to the life that once surrounded it. Yet even then, its story will not end. Black holes may merge with others, combining their masses and releasing gravitational waves, ripples in the very fabric of space-time. These waves travel outward across the universe, carrying the echoes of creation and destruction alike. Somewhere in the distant future, the whirlpool's black hole may meet another, perhaps from its companion galaxy. When the two eventually merge, their collision will unleash one of the most powerful events in the universe, a burst of energy that warps space itself. And out of that union, a new, even greater black hole will emerge, silent and eternal, anchoring whatever new galaxy rises from the remnants of the old. There is something profoundly symbolic in that image: two galaxies merging, two hearts becoming one, two destinies intertwined in the endless cycle of creation. The black hole, though dark and unknowable, becomes the vessel of continuity. It carries the memory of everything the galaxy once was, the stars that once orbited it, the light that once shone around it, the dust and gas that once filled its arms. All of it, in some form, will live on within its gravity. The whirlpool's black hole is not just its center, it is its future. Philosophers have long wondered whether darkness represents the end or merely a transformation. The black hole at the core of M51 answers that question in the language of physics. There are no true endings in the universe, only transitions. What falls into the black hole does not vanish, it changes form, merging with the fundamental structure of spacetime itself. Information, energy, matter, they are never truly destroyed. They are rewritten into the universe's deeper code. In that sense, the whirlpool's black hole is not a void. It is a bridge, a link between the visible and the invisible, between being and becoming. And when we look at the whirlpool through our telescopes, what we truly see is this harmony between opposites, light and dark, creation and collapse, expansion and gravity. The black hole is the counterweight to the galaxy's exuberant light, keeping it grounded, ensuring that its brilliance does not burn uncontrollably. It teaches us a lesson that resonates beyond science, that even in the heart of darkness, purpose can exist. That even forces of destruction can be agents of balance. If you could listen to the galaxy instead of just seeing it, you would hear that black hole hum. It vibrates the fabric of space with deep, inaudible waves. Its gravity affects every orbit, every star, every gas cloud. The whirlpool's entire structure is tuned to that frequency. In a sense, the galaxy sings a song composed by its black hole, a low, resonant harmony that keeps everything in rhythm. When humanity first discovered black holes, we feared them. They seemed to mock our understanding of reality, to consume knowledge, energy, and time itself. But as our instruments grew more sensitive, as our minds grew more open, we began to see their elegance. They are not errors in the universe. They are essential parts of its design. They are what allow galaxies to exist, to evolve, to shine. Without them, there would be no order, only chaos drifting endlessly through space. In the Whirlpool Galaxy, this truth becomes visible. The black hole's influence is everywhere, though it hides in plain sight. Every beam of light that reaches us, every star that orbits safely within its arm, every pattern of energy that pulses across the galactic disk, all of it bears the mark of that central darkness. Its silence speaks through motion. Its invisibility defines shape. Its gravity holds the galaxy together like the invisible binding of a book written in light. And so, in studying the whirlpool's black hole, we are not merely peering into a distant mystery. We are glimpsing the architecture of existence itself. We are seeing how the universe keeps its balance, how it sustains both order and chaos, life and death, creation and consumption. The black hole is both the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega of every galaxy's story. It is tempting to see the whirlpool's luminous arms and forget that they are anchored to something unseen. But perhaps that is the universe's most profound metaphor, that even the most radiant beauty is rooted in mystery, that light owes its shape to darkness. The black hole is not the enemy of the stars, it is their silent guardian. Without its gravity, their dance would lose its rhythm. Without its presence, their light would scatter into nothing. And so in that darkness, the Whirlpool Galaxy finds its destiny. In the unseen depths of its core, the laws of physics bend, and from that bending comes balance. From that silence comes structure, from that darkness comes light. The black hole at the center of M51 is not a void, it is the universe dreaming of itself. When we gaze upon the Whirlpool Galaxy, we're not just seeing another beautiful spiral in the night sky, we are witnessing a possible reflection of our own galaxy's future. The Whirlpool, or M51, is more than a distant wonder, it's a cosmic preview of what might one day happen to the Milky Way. Galaxies, like living organisms, have life cycles. They're born, they grow, they collide, and they transform. And what we see happening within M51, the gravitational dances, the eruptions of star formation, the turbulence at its core, could be the same fate awaiting our home galaxy billions of years from now. It's as if the universe placed M51 before us as a mirror, allowing us to glimpse our destiny written across the stars. The Whirlpool's story begins with the delicate balance between chaos and creation. Its arms are stretched wide, each coiled spiral shining with clusters of newborn stars. Yet at the same time, it's locked in a gravitational struggle with a smaller companion, NGC 5195. This interaction isn't just a random cosmic accident, it's part of a universal pattern. Galaxies are constantly shaped by encounters, mergers, and collisions. The energy of these interactions forges new stars, redistributes matter, and sometimes awakens the sleeping giants at their centers, supermassive black holes. When we study M51, we're not merely observing something far away, we're studying a process that will one day unfold right here in our cosmic neighborhood. In about 4 billion years, our Milky Way will meet its own partner, Andromeda. The two great galaxies will collide in a slow, graceful yet violent dance that will last billions of years. Stars won't crash into one another directly because the space between them is vast, but their mutual gravity will stretch, twist, and reshape both galaxies, creating tidal tails, bursts of star formation, and possibly awakening our own galactic core. When astronomers look at the whirlpool, they see a smaller, scale version of that very event. The patterns of interaction between M51 and NGC 5195 offer a window into the physics of galactic mergers, and in studying them, we can model what our sky might look like billions of years from now. One day, the night sky may glow with strange arcs of light as the Milky Way and Andromeda's stars mix together, forming a new, larger galaxy that astronomers have already nicknamed Milkomda. But what makes the whirlpool so fascinating and so symbolic isn't just its beauty or its motion. It's what it represents, the eternal cycle of cosmic renewal. Every collision, every eruption of light, every black hole feeding frenzy, and every quiet formation of a new star reminds us that even destruction is a form of creation. The forces that tear galaxies apart are the same forces that ignite the birth of new worlds. Within those glowing arms of M51 are countless regions where gas clouds collapse under their own gravity, sparking into new suns surrounded by planets yet unformed. The same processes that might one day unmake our galaxy will also ensure the birth of others. The universe wastes nothing, it transforms, recycles, and evolves endlessly. What looks like the end is often just the beginning. For humanity, this understanding is humbling. We are small, infinitesimally small, in comparison to these cosmic scales. Yet we are the only known observers capable of contemplating them. When we study the Whirlpool Galaxy, we are, in a sense, studying ourselves. We are made of the same cosmic dust that swirls within its arms, forged in the hearts of long, dead stars that exploded billions of years ago. Our atoms, carbon, iron, oxygen, nitrogen, all originated from ancient galaxies like M51 that lived, collided, and gave birth to new generations of stars. When we trace the light of the whirlpool across 23 million years of space-time, we are looking back into our own origins. That light left its galaxy before humans existed, before Earth even took its modern form. And yet here it is reaching our eyes, carrying a story from a time before time. Astronomers see in the whirlpool a lesson in endurance. Despite the constant turmoil, the gravitational pull of its companion, the storms around its core, the endless cycles of death and rebirth, it remains intact, magnificent, radiant. Its spiral structure has survived eons of cosmic tension. It has adapted to its circumstances, reshaping itself, absorbing its partner's energy, and evolving into something more complex. And isn't that, in some way, what life itself does? It endures, it transforms. It grows stronger through struggle. M51 stands as a metaphor for resilience, not just cosmic, but human. The same principles that allow galaxies to thrive through collisions are mirrored in the way civilizations, species, and individuals grow through challenge. In its core, the whirlpool hides a supermassive black hole feeding on surrounding gas and dust, and though it consumes, it also gives. The energy released by that consumption radiates across space, lighting up the galaxy, sculpting its structure, and influencing the birth of stars. It's a paradox, an object defined by darkness that produces some of the brightest light in the universe, and that paradox is everywhere in nature. Out of darkness comes creation, out of collapse comes new order. When the Milky Way and Andromeda merge, our own galactic black hole, Sagittarius A*, may awaken, shining with the same fierce brilliance we now observe in M51. The night sky of our distant descendants could glow not with fear but with awe, a spectacle of transformation on a cosmic scale. And yet there's something even deeper in this reflection. As we learn more about the Whirlpool Galaxy, we realize that every act of looking outward is also an act of looking inward. We are drawn to these distant wonders because they resonate with something inside us. The patterns of the universe, the spirals, the cycles, the endless balance between chaos and order, mirror our own inner worlds. The universe is vast beyond comprehension, yet it follows laws of symmetry, gravity, and evolution that echo within our psychology, our art, our very sense of purpose. Perhaps that's why galaxies like M51 captivate us, not just because they're beautiful, but because in their light we recognize the same mystery that stirs in our own hearts. Science, for all its equations and measurements, cannot fully capture that feeling, the quiet awe of knowing that everything is connected, that when we study a distant galaxy, we're not just exploring the external universe, but tracing the story of how existence itself came to be. The Whirlpool's mysterious dance with its companion galaxy, its radiant arms, its dark center, all of it tells a story of unity through contrast. Every push and pull, every collapse and expansion, every burst of energy and quiet decay are woven into a single grand tapestry. The more we understand galaxies like M51, the more we appreciate the delicate balance that makes existence possible. Without destruction, there would be no creation. Without darkness, no light. When the day comes that our Milky Way begins its slow collision with Andromeda, the view from Earth, if Earth still exists then, will be awe-inspiring. The sky will blaze with streams of light as the two galaxies begin to merge. Over millions of years, their stars will weave together into a single luminous form. Planets will drift to new orbits, black holes will spiral toward one another, and eventually the two cores will combine into one, a new, even more powerful heart of light and gravity. What we now call our galaxy will be reborn, transformed into something unrecognizable, yet still familiar in its essence. The Whirlpool Galaxy shows us that this process isn't a catastrophe, it's evolution on a cosmic scale. So when we look at M51's shimmering arms and luminous core, we are seeing a reflection of our future, a symbol of change that is both inevitable and beautiful. It tells us that the universe itself is not static, it is alive, breathing, and ever transforming. And perhaps through this understanding, we can learn something profound about our own lives. That change, even when it feels like destruction, often leads to new beginnings. The cosmos reminds us that everything, every ending, every loss, every transformation, is part of a greater rhythm that has been unfolding since the dawn of time. The Whirlpool Galaxy stands as a testament to that eternal rhythm. It teaches us that nothing truly ends, it only changes form. Stars die, but their light travels forever. Galaxies collide, but from their chaos emerges new order. The universe expands, yet within that expansion lies infinite opportunity for creation. We too are part of that story, tiny but essential threads in an infinite cosmic web. The atoms in our bodies once burned in ancient stars. The light that guides our eyes once crossed billions of miles of interstellar space. And the curiosity that drives us to understand it all, that too is a reflection of the universe's own desire to know itself. The Whirlpool Galaxy is not just a distant object, it's a message across time. A whisper from the cosmos saying, everything changes, nothing is lost, all is connected, And as we continue to explore its mysterious core, as we push the boundaries of our telescopes and our understanding, we're not just uncovering the secrets of space. We're remembering something the universe has always known, that the story of the galaxies is, in the end, the story of us.